Hi, Spencer here. Today's problem and what we're going to fix this weekend is very simple and very common in a household. And that's where the ball cock in a toilet is not quite shutting off. In this case, we're going to replace the entire ball cock. Most of them will work with this Fluidmaster. I already took this apart. You can go to the hardware store, and this little piece right in here pops out and can be replaced. So you don't always have to replace the entire ball cock. You can simply replace that one little washer there. In this case, you can see on the ball cock down there, it's got a lot of sediment. It's just, I'm going to replace the whole ball cock. They're easy enough and inexpensive enough to do that. Let me put this one back together. Okay, the first thing that you've got to do is shut the water off down here. And you can see what the issue is. It isn't shutting off the flow of water coming in, and the water's just filling up and going right down the drain. So it can make for a hefty water bill. Okay, I've got that valve turned off. I just go ahead and flush it and hold the handle up so that all the water drains that we can possibly get out of there drains out. I usually just go ahead and flip the flapper off out of the way, and as you can see, this flapper needs replaced anyhow, so I'll go ahead and replace that at the same time. You can use a sponge to get the final bit out of the tank. If not, as soon as you pop that out, it'll come out on the floor. I'll put a towel down there anyhow because there's always a little bit that comes out. A lot of times I bypass this step and don't even bother sponging it out, but that's out of the way. Okay, then we take, and the first thing got to go down here and do is you disconnect the water. Water disconnected. At that point, we loosen the nut on the valve. Now what we do there, and be a good idea to do this before you loosen the valve, because water will be leaking out if you don't have it out. But take the ball cock, gasket all the way up there. You can use the old nut. You might as well use the new one though if it's there. And put the lid back on. Okay. I get it ready to just, well, let me get the hose on there. Okay, you simply pop that out and pop that down in. Should be able to do it a little quicker than I did. Got to adjust it up so that it's at level with where you want to fill it up to. You pop that down in, and then you go. Okay, once you have the ball cock mounted to the toilet, I'm not replacing the fill tube assembly. I will go ahead and put the flapper in there since it needed replaced anyhow. Got the fill valve. Okay, we've got that. We put the tube in and let it fill up with water. Turn the water back on. Let it fill, and so what we'll have left to do is simply adjust it to where we get it up to the fill line, and there's the fill line that's marked on there. We don't want it to go over, or it'll come down the tube. So there may be some adjustments to do. That's done right there. That simply raises or lowers the float. All right, got the water in there. It's a little bit below the line, so I'm going to adjust this by turning it, and that moves the float valve up. You can see how it works. As this comes up, it shuts it off. When it goes down, so when the water's out, it lets the water in. Then it comes up like that and shuts it off. It's a flush valve. I'll put this in there so that the hose isn't all down in the fill valve. Okay, and there we go. Once we've got that there, do a check, make sure it's all dry, where you tightened it to the tank, as well as where you've tied the water line in. Check the flush. Both it and the flapper are working as they should. Water's coming in, and that's keeping the water from going out. Check again to make sure nothing, now that the water's on, is leaking, and it looks good. Okay, there we go. What we've done is just installed a toilet fill valve. Also showed you how you can repair the existing fill valve by that little gasket in there if you need to. It goes by the name fill valve, but it's also called a ballcock. That's the official plumbing term. And we replaced the flapper. Once you've done that, you've done everything you can do on the toilet. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, please give me a like, and make sure you leave something in the comments below. If there's something you'd like to hear in the future, let me know. Otherwise, see you next weekend.